Okay, so continuing to share with you some of the things from building a purposeful business that, again, I'm updating and completing here this week so that it'll be available. I talked about everything has changed as being the beginning point for someone going into business to realize, and the next one is people. I just titled it People. And it's for this reason that we've got to recognize, not only recognize in our head that people are important, and that everybody that we work with is a significant piece of your life, but that it's got to be a mindset to where you kind of love people, and that you recognize the potential in them, that you see them all as different and unique, that we not take anyone for granted, that we not put ourselves on a level different than they are. Anybody that we come into contact with is on the same level as I am. I'm not above someone because maybe I own a business or I've made this success or I've done this or that or the other. It's because I'm a people. I'm a person just like this other person. And so what I try and get people to grasp is that when you're going into business, you're going to need to have that kind of mindset regarding people. And you say, well, wait a minute, I'm only even having employees. We're not talking just about employees. Again, we're talking about a mindset, a way of life regarding how you value people. It's essential to have that sense in your being that others are no different than you. We just have different talents, we have different abilities, we've had different experiences. So we're all going through life in a different place and at a different pace, but that we're all people. And if we see one another differently, and yeah, color, or a country, none of that matters. I've gone to India and found that people there were the same as they are here. If you're trying to connect with their heart and trying to understand who they are, they're no different. And so when we embrace that wholeheartedly, then it gives us the ability to operate in a framework that allows us to be more powerful in our business. It allows us to connect in a way that is real. And again, I didn't understand all those things in the early days. For me, this piece of it was somewhat natural, and it was something that I just did. But I share in the book that, I'm talking about everything. If you're going to the restaurant and it's a waitress, you don't treat her like, in your mind, you think, oh, she's only a waitress. No, you treat her as a human being, no different than you are, and you show her respect. I love in The Dream Maker by Bruce Wilkinson, that he uses this phrase to sometimes get people to thinking about their own potential and about their own dreams that they may have in their own life. He asks, have you ever had a dream that you've given up on? So you see, that's a question that you may not be going to sit there and have a conversation with the person regarding this, but you have maybe awakened something in them that comes back to life. And so that's a great value to someone who's maybe kind of struggling along in life at that moment in time. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying that it's a good question to leave them with so that they can begin to ponder that, because most people have been given a dream. And of course, Bruce Wilkinson, he's the guy that back in the 70s or 80s of the last century did the Walk Through the Bible ministry, and he did a great job with that, and it's still going on, I believe. But he's not associated with it any longer. But so obviously when he talks about the dream giver, he's talking about God, that he places something within us that we long for, that we desire, that we seek, that we're going after. And we maybe sometimes don't even know what it is, that it's just something that's driving us. But life comes along, and life slows things down, or it completely detours us. We've all gone through those times. I write about, in Building a Purposeful Business, about a black hole that I was in for a few years. And I was still working, I was still generating income, but emotionally and spiritually, I was in a black hole. And so these things happen. Life comes along and it distracts you from the dream. And so just encouraging people to think about that and to consider, you've got great potential. And think about what God had put in you and maybe pick that back up. Maybe now that you're at a point where you can do that again. And so this whole idea of recognizing that people are so valuable, that you and they are no different than one another, different in talents, abilities, sure, different in a lot of respects, but still, we're just people. We're just a little ant in the scheme of things, right? So value people. Talk to you again.